OMG, welcome back to my channel. So excited you are here. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. I appreciate you. It's Jody Dunn. And in this week's video, I'm going to bring you a transformation of this shade garden. I'll call it a shade garden because it probably gets 75 to 80% shade all day. A little bit of dappled sunlight in here. It's a mess right now. I'm going to transform it and make it look beautiful. I do have, my hosta is thriving over there. It looks gorgeous. I've got one little leaf over there that's not looking good. You can probably see it. Looks like it's crisping, which I hope it doesn't have some kind of a disease. I have my hydrangea over here, and I think I'm going to have to move this. Because this is such a shaded area. This side right here is the side that gets a little bit of sun, and you can see it is the side that I'm actually finally getting some blooms on. The other side over here basically gets like no sun, and I have no blooms. So it needs more sun than what it is getting here to bloom. But I'm not going to worry about that. Right now, I have a whole bunch of other hydrangeas in the back that need to be moved that aren't getting any blooms because they literally get no sun. But we're just going to go ahead and work on this bed, get it all weeded, and then make it look beautiful and colorful for a shade garden. All right, let's get this project started. I'm so excited to do this. First thing I'm going to do is move these pavers. So these were given to us by my aunt and uncle when we moved into this house, and my husband had just laid them from the shed coming into the yard. Last year when we had some trees removed, they took those pavers and put them against the wall because they didn't want to break them. So I'm putting them back. They're not like laid correctly, no stone in between them, nothing like that, but they work just fine. Watch out, Clucky. Watch out. It'll give me a little bit of teeny weed barrier for that walkway area. So obviously the first thing I need to do is get into this bed and weed it because it's filled with weeds. Now it looks terrible, but man, were you with me last year? This was the first thing I worked on in this bed, and this bed was 1,000 times worse than it even is right now. So it only took me about 40 minutes, I think, to weed it. And I did pull out my grandpa's weeder, and I used that on really hard ones, but there's just so many like all stuck together that it was just faster for me to do it this way and to just use the grandpa's weeder to get into the ones that I really couldn't get down. And kind of funny what I noticed with weeding this bed. So the previous owner had laid down some pretty heavy duty weed barrier, and I'm guessing topped everything with some type of a topsoil. Almost all of these weeds that I pulled up only went down to the original weed barrier. So that was kind of nice. It was easy to get most of them up. And I didn't actually get to, when I get to planting, I didn't get to the actual clay of our soil quite a bit down. So they must have had a lot of topsoil laid on top of the weed barrier. But in some areas, the only reason that I knew that to begin with was because in some areas, it looks like the topsoil has kind of like moved on. I don't know. It walked away. Moved on. That sounds weird. You can see the weed barrier in some areas. It doesn't have any soil on top of it. But in other areas, there was plenty of the topsoil before you got to the weed barrier. So, that just happens. The wind blows the dirt around and everything else. And I've already been in this bed, like I said, and weeded last year. It's where I actually caught dang poison ivy was in this bed. So anyways, I'm just dang excited to do some type of a makeover in this backyard because I've been working on it for over a year and it's definitely coming along, but it's just such a slow process that I wanted to be able to see something that just looked beautiful, even if it was just a small part of the yard that just looked beautiful, that I could admire and I could enjoy. And normally I would have my sleeves on, my protective sleeves. The hubs was doing some yard work and put my dang sleeves on. I don't know why he used them, but it was like I wanted to get this done. And when I have time to do something, I need to do it, because the next day I probably won't have time. So I just risked it, and I washed up really, really good when I was done weeding this area, because we are definitely not poison ivy free at this point. It's much better than it was. But I'm pretty certain the hubs got poison ivy from doing what he was doing. He's not nearly as cautious as I am, although I am not being very cautious right now, not having any sleeves on. And P.S., the weather's crazy right now in Michigan, and I think all over the United States. We're going through a massive heat wave for sure. All right, it is weeded to my satisfaction. It's not 100%. You can still see teeny little green things in there. Hopefully what I do will cover that all up, and we won't have to worry about the rest of it. But the canvas is now ready for me to transform it, and I'm so excited. So let's move on to the next step. Oh, and just in case you're wondering, I do have 3 larger things in this bed that I can't pull up. They have to be dug up. So I'll have to do that first. And then it will be ready for me to do what I want to do to transform it. Well, it happened. I met my very first live in-person plant friend. I have a plant friend now. I don't have anybody in person in my life that loves plants the way I do. And Donna had went over to see a friend, and anyways, I was inside the house, and this lady has a lot more plants than me. She's so sweet. And I was saying, oh, is that a spider plant? Like, I never see them at the store, and I thought it was a pretty common plant. And she's like, oh yeah, here, take, this one's a Bonnie, it's a curly one, and this one's a regular, so take it. So she gave me 2 spider starter plants, which I have had sitting on my porch for like a week now, and I just need to get them cleaned up. Look at it. It's just getting like cobwebs and stuff all over it. So I'm going to get these all rinsed off and repotted, and I will show you where I'm going to put them. All right, got my new little baby spider plants all cleaned up, and I wanted to take a look at the roots, which the roots look fantastic. I was kind of like a little shocked when I looked at the Bonnie. I didn't notice it as much on the regular spider plant, but this one has a lot more roots. They almost look like tuberous roots, like they're very, very thick. So that was very interesting. I always like looking at the roots of the plants because it kind of tells a story a little bit about the plant. But wasn't that so darn sweet of her to give me these? I offered to pay for them. She's like, no, you take them. I have a lot of them. One of her spider plants has babies, you know, the little spiderettes, I guess that was what you call them. So anyways, she gave me 2 little starter spider plants. So we're going to see what we can make of them. I'm just using regular potting soil to pot these in, and I added some perlite just for extra drainage. And I'm going to show you where I am going to put them. So if you've been successful with spider plants, please leave me all of your tips. I appreciate it. I see in comments and stuff when I'm watching plant videos that some people love spider plants and some people have a heck of a time with them. This is my little pink polka dot splash plant that Holly had sent me. Oh my gosh, it is looking so fantastic. While I have the dirt out and everything, I'm just going to go ahead and repot her because I've had it for a few weeks now, and it's just in its regular pot that it came in, so I just want to put it in a different pot. It was not root bound or anything like that, so I'm not disturbing the soil. I'm just adding it into a teeny little bit of a bigger pot, and she really has... she's got so much new growth. This is such a beautiful little plant. I cannot wait to see what she looks like the more she grows. And of course, when I got the spider plants, I did watch a couple of videos just to get some like basic knowledge of spider plants. So I'm going to do one more thing to them first, but then I thought I would just put her in this pot. It really is just because whenever I water her, then I won't have to worry about it draining all over. The pot just catches it. So brown tips. That was one of the most common things I heard, and you just cut them right off. Both of these plants had brown tips when I got them, so it's not that they've gotten brown tips in my care because I left them outside. They already had some brown tips, so I'm just going to trim them all off. I can't even remember now. I just watched the video a few days ago, what caused this brown tips. Bonnie did not have very many brown tips, but the regular spider plant did. Every leaf had a little bit of browning at the end of the tip. So this is where I plan on putting these two ladies to see how they will do. I'm going to put them right in my bathroom. I don't believe they like direct, bright sunlight. They like indirect light. So I figured this would be a good spot for them up on my cabinet or on my shelf in my bathroom. And obviously once these grow, I don't know how long they take to grow, but once they start getting bigger, I'm not going to be able to keep them here because it's just a small shelf. But I thought I will just put them up here for now and see how they do. I couldn't find another plastic tray to go under this one, so because I watered them and I didn't want it dripping all over, I did just put paper towel there. I'll find the plastic tray, though. All right, I put a teacup up there, so what's your vote? 2 plants with the teacup in the middle, or I'll put it back with the faux plant in the middle. The only thing I was worried about, well, hang on, let me switch it. All right, I definitely think that looks better aesthetically for sure. I was just worried that the faux plant would shade out part of the sun for the Bonnie. I don't know if it will or not, but anyways, give me your vote on there. So there you go. I now am the proud owner of 2 baby spider plants, and I'm excited to see how they grow. All right, back to this bed and this project of transforming it. So I've got my root slayer out, one of my favoriteest garden tools that can really help to pull things out that are a bugger to get out. This is an ash tree. And, you know, trees don't take very long for the roots start really getting established down there and make it really hard to pull them up. So that's what I had in this bed was 3 volunteer trees that I don't want in here. I pulled 1 ash tree out already. This is my second ash tree. So now that is out. And then I have 1 more left before I can start planting. And this one is big. This is a black walnut tree. We had a black walnut tree. It was beautiful. And it made the biggest mess all over the yard. We had to have it removed, maybe like 5 or 6 years after we had bought the house. We've been in this house for almost 13 years now. So 5 or 6 years after we bought the house. If you ever remind me to tell you where the stump is still there, and it's massive. You've seen it before when I've been doing backyard cleanup. So anyways, I'm going to try to get this dang thing up. And in the meantime of trying to pull this up, I'm also finding all kinds of roots, all kinds of vines. And when I was doing planting as well, I'm just going to let you watch me try to get all of these dang vines up. This whole bed is filled with roots and vines of I don't know what, which made planting challenging. I could spend probably a whole day trying to get all the roots and everything out of here. Anyways, this was one of the hot days. We had basically a whole week of 90 plus with the humidity making it over 100 degrees. So I didn't stay out here I took lots of breaks, and I am in a shaded area. I did the weeding before the heat wave hit, but the rest of this was done during all of the hot days. I was laughing when I was editing to watch that back. I don't know if you could even hear me. I really don't swear hardly ever, but I was like, mother effer. Oh, this thing took me 9 minutes and 48 seconds. Oh my gosh. I did it. I did it. Well, at least the biggest chunk. Look at how dang big that is. Holy crap. It's out. It's out. I don't know how I did this. Let's see. It's still here. It's buried so far. I can't get it. Somehow with the... These aren't even loafers. Somehow with these low pruners, I was able to cut this huge... I had to use a lot of force and all my body weight. But at least I got this off. I don't know. Hopefully that won't grow back. But, all right, I'm done. Now I officially have a fresh canvas to start planting. OMG, that was a lot of work. All right, now it is the fun part of getting to put all of the flowers that I purchased and plants in this bed to make it look gorgeous. And I already told you, I was having all kinds of trouble. Everywhere I dug in here had roots, which was making it very challenging to find spots, especially for one that's a little bit bigger, like this coleus that I'm planting. But I figured it out. There were some things that I had to like move around because I couldn't get through the roots, or some places I even had to cut some of the roots. Hopefully I didn't cut anything that I didn't want to cut. But I've got an assortment of coleus, because you know I love coleus. So a lot of the new coleus does well in sun as well as shade. So hopefully the coleus I purchased will like it in this area. And then I got a little surprise as I was over here trying to plant some impatiens. I kept thinking I could hear some rustling around over by the hydrangea. Mouse, can you get out of here? Oh, you're not a mouse, you're a mole. Here he comes, climbing right over the root slayer. Get out of there. Lord, I thought it was a mouse, but I think it's a mole. Ugh. You guys can tell me if he ever comes out from under there. I'm sure he will. Lord. I don't know if I've ever seen a mole in person. He's just gonna go under all of the dang... There he is. Lord. There he is. Well, there he goes. When I saw his face, I was like, oh, that's not a mouse. That must have been a dang mole. Back to planting. I figured at first it was just a chipmunk when I heard the rustling around, but no, it was a dang mole. Again, I thought it was a mouse until I saw its face. It almost looked like he didn't have any eyes, which I'm pretty sure that's a mole. So apparently I have moles, which I figured I did, but you know, whatever. I have all the wildlife here. P.S. Guess who fed a chipmunk right out of her hand? This girl did. I got a chipmunk to take a peanut right from my hand. You know, the chipmunks are a pain in my butt. But this little guy was just so cute. He was standing right in front of me. And he was looking at me. And I said, do you want a peanut? And he was just looking at me. So I went back in the house. I said, wait here. Went back in the house, got a peanut, came out. He was still there. And he just came right up to me and took a peanut from my hand. I wish I would have had my phone with me. It was so dang cute. I had somebody comment last week or maybe the week before that I should get like an auger, I think it's called, for your drill, or a bulb thing to help to make it easier to dig holes. I have both of those tools. The auger, I was pretty disappointed in. And it definitely would not have worked well in this bed at all because of all the roots and things I was running into. So I have those types of tools, but especially for little things like impatience, I'm just digging the holes. It's really not that big of a deal. And you can see what I was talking about earlier when I said you could see the weed barrier that the previous owner had laid down, where there is no more topsoil on top of it. So anyways, I got all my flowers planted. I probably do not have enough, but I spent what I had for the budget, and that's what's going in this bed, and hopefully they'll grow and kind of fill it out. And I'm also going to put a little cute decorative fence here. I want to try to keep Clarky out of this bed so he's not breaking my flowers. Super easy to put in. I got this from Amazon. I actually had ordered it for the bed in front of my deck to keep him out of that bed. But it's not going to work over there because of all the rocks I have. So anyways, I'm putting it here. I knew I didn't have enough for this bed, but I wanted to see how it would look and if I liked it. And I will link it down in the description box. Anything I can link in the description box, I will. And I'll give you a close-up in just a second of how easy this is to put into the ground. I don't even remember, have I asked you yet what's going on in your world? If I haven't asked you, if I have asked you, sorry to repeat myself, but if I haven't asked you, I would love to hear what's happening in your world. What projects are you working on? Are you outdoors? Are you indoors? Let me know if you would like to share it down in the comments. I would love to hear it. This is not a super tall fence, so, I mean, let's be honest, Clark could jump it if he really wanted to, but I think it will deter him enough to stay out of there. So, in the meantime, I have ordered another set, and I'm going to go ahead and lay down some fresh mulch in this area to help with weed suppression, and it'll just look nice. I had like a rake that I was using to kind of spread it out, and then around the flowers, I just did that by hand. That was just easier for me. And I swear, mulch is like one of those things that is definitely not a little bit goes a long way. It is a lot of it goes a long way. I always underestimate how much mulch I am going to need. And these suckers they're just heavy. And it was so hot this day, so hot. But, you know, like I said, I had a project in mind. I had to get it done in the times that I was able to get it done. And like I said, I was taking lots of breaks, drinking lots of water, sweating my tush off. But it was all worth it. This is for sure my favorite thing so far that I have done in the backyard. Even though it's just a small space, it was so completely transformed. And I'll let you listen. Donna Jean had come outside to ask me something, and in teenager language gave me a pretty nice compliment. Doesn't it look so cute, Donna? Do you love it? I don't know. I'm literally dripping with sweat. My hair's sticking to me. This backyard keeps me on my toes. I keep thinking that's the hardest thing I ever did. I can't remember sweating this horrible, and I'm like a mess. Let's see. Yeah, you can see I'm just a mess everywhere. I need a shower. It looks beautiful. I need one more dang bag of mulch, and I gotta get the rest of the fencing. We're almost done. Oh, I wanted to show you this too. I've been, watering my flowers. And so as I've been watering the flowers, I've been watering the hydrangea as well. I know they do like water, unlike, well, the hostas like water, but they're way more drought tolerant. Y'all aren't going to be as excited as me, probably, but oh my gosh, look at, it's actually, the buds are flowering. They each just have a teeny little bit, and I just could not be more excited to see this explode into white. They're not very big, and I only have 3. I think, again, as I already said, because it just doesn't get enough sun. But I'm going to be so dang grateful for these 3 that pop up and turn completely white. Oh, so happy. I decided that I'm going to add this hosta. That's not what I purchased it for, but the bed needs a little bit more. And I'm done with my budget. Buying flowers. I had bought this or something else, but I'm going to put it in here. I mean, look at it. I had to cut roots. God knows where they're from, just to get to this hole. I wanted to kind of put it up front, but I have a huge root, which is probably from that beauty, coming through here. So I didn't want to mess with the hosta over there. But I was watching, I watch gardening videos all the time. Found a new channel that I really like. I wish I could remember what it's called. I'll pop it up on the screen if I figure it out. Anyways, I think it was her. She has clay soil like me. And she said put water in holes if you're not sure. I should have done this already, but I had already done all my gardening, all my planting here, just to see if you have good drainage in the area that you're wanting to plant something in. Because obviously that can affect your plant's health. So she said if it's standing water for 2 hours, that you should not plant something there. So let's see how long it takes this to drain. While I'm waiting for that to see how long it takes it to drain, I got the rest of my mulch. I said 1 more bag, but it took 1.5 more bags. So I ended up with 9.5 bags to fill this bed with mulch. I popped that gardening channel, if you like watching gardening videos, up on the screen. Really like her channel. Another one that I really like, that's pretty big channel, so you probably already are aware of it, but The Impatient Gardener. Oh gosh, I love her channel. And one I've recently found, Up North Gardening with Corey. He owns a nursery. He does a lot about hanging baskets and planters. Really enjoy his videos as well. There's several more that I love, but those are the ones that I can think of right now. In case you like gardening videos, like I said, definitely go check them out. Well, it's been 1 hour, so I'm hopeful this is going to be okay, because she said 2 hours. I think it will drain. It's drained quite a bit, but man, it is slow going. This was really eye-opening for me, especially in a week where it is so hot here. I think I'm watering my flowers maybe too much. I've been watering them every single day, not realizing that this water, of course, every single hole you can dig in every single area could be different, but I'm sure a majority of my soil is like this. So anyways, I'm gonna give it 1 more hour. There was just a teeny little bit of water left, so I think this spot is gonna be okay for this new hosta. So I'm putting her in the ground. And let's cross our fingers that she does well and grows beautiful here. Now, the deer love my hosta, but they will not come up this close to the house. So this one should be safe here. It took me a week to get this done, but we are getting to the best part now, the before and after. Oh my gosh, I'm so thrilled with this. This is what it looked like before. It was a complete hot mess, and it really needed a lot of work. So let's take a look at what it looks like now. All right, it is complete for now. I'm sure maybe I'll add more things later on, but I do have more of the fence coming. I probably need like 6-7 more pieces there to finish it out, but isn't it so cute? So happy with this. So I have impatience, coleus, double impatience, something else back there. Oh, and way in the back, I did put, this was one of the dahlias I got that I told you I think it was grown from seed because it said it needs part shade, and it was not doing well in the sun at all. I need to pull this off because it does not look good. So I moved it over here. It's actually looking better, even though it doesn't have any flowers, than it was. I can see actually some new growth points. So that is very hopeful for me. So I'm hoping that some of these impatiens will kind of grow and spread out and take up some space. My hosta is getting ready to flower, so that's a beautiful. What were these? I put 2 of these in here. Are these an impatiens as well? Oh, New Guinea impatiens, yes. So this one's getting a couple new flowers. That's what it looks like when it is flowering. So beautiful. So let me step back out. So anyways, my very first transformed garden bed in this backyard. I love the way it turned out so very much. I think it'll be fairly easy to maintain. As I've already said, I know that the outside edges probably could use some more, but I was at my max with my budget. So like I said, maybe some of the nurseries are getting ready to shut down until fall, so there's been some sales happening, so maybe I can find a good deal and add a few more things in here. But for right now, I am just so thrilled with the way it turned out. I hope it inspired you to tackle a project in your yard or your house. It's just crazy what a little bit of work can do. It took me the whole dang week to do this because I had to do it in chunks of time. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I appreciate you so very much. And I'm going to see you again next week. Have a great day. Bye.